My name is Alla Tsapiv. I'm Vice Rector for International, Social and Humanitarian Research and Education Affairs and a professor of the Department of English Philology and World Literature named after Professor Oleg Mishukov, Kherson State University, Ukraine.
Як війна конкретно змінила ваше повсякденне життя як науковця?
My life, I think that as the lives of each Ukrainian has changed completely, and the worst thing that a person can experience in its life is war. And of course everything has changed. I think that we even didn't realize how happy we were before the war started. We just had our ordinary life. We woke up in the morning, had breakfast, and we were very fast going to work. And we all felt that we are tired, we need some relaxation, that there is something else that we want in our life, but actually we were absolutely happy. And right now I realize it completely, and I think that we all realize that. When you live your ordinary life, you have your relatives, your children, all your friends by your side, and you do not feel that loneliness. You have created your own world and to live inside this world. But when the war, the full scale war started, it has changed everything. And what has changed is the feeling inside of you, that you feel completely lonely because you cannot be in one place with your relatives. You are far away from your brothers, your friends, and even my child is not in this country with me nowadays because it is not safe to leave him here. And I think that it is the biggest change, the change of your feeling of completeness, that you are lonely. But at the same time, I think that the way we value our life has changed, because previously we thought that we need flats, apartments, cars, different things that make us happy. And now we realize that not these things make us happy. The war has changed the realization of that. We feel happy when we are together with those whom we love.
Як ви адаптувалися до нової ситуації в навчанні, в роботі, у воєнний час? Що ви відчуваєте особисто?
When the full-scale war started, Kherson, my native city, was occupied almost in the first days of this full-scale invasion, and the most weird and the most unpredictable situation was life in occupation. I could not believe that it was really true, that really Russian troops were monitoring all the city. There were lots of cars and lots of Russian soldiers, and life in occupation was something that we could not predict, and that it was really difficult to live in that conditions. I think that we had lots of fears. We were not afraid for our own lives, but we really were afraid for lives of our parents, life of our children, and lives of our friends. At the same time, we were much afraid of starvation because there were not food supplies. We had to stand in long queues to buy a loaf of bread, to buy something to eat, and that was really scary because we all know that bad episodes of history in Ukraine, the episodes of Holodomor, and we have that in our memories, and we were very much afraid of that. But when we realized that we need to do something, we need to struggle to be resilient, when we realized that we have to do something, that really helped us to become united. You know that our university team, I'm really proud of each member of our university team because they have done a lot to survive, to preserve, to save the academic community, to continue communication with the students, to continue all the educational process, the lectures, seminars, communication in different web chats, in social nets. And I think that that communication, it made us be really strong and resilient. Moreover, we had lots of shelters and we had food supplies for our students, for our colleagues, and that made us be united because every day we were busy with the thoughts where to find something, where to buy something. And I do remember when our international partners, they gave us money to buy some food, and all the members of our university, the members of many departments, even it was really dangerous. They had to rescue their own lives, but they were not afraid to go somewhere to buy some food, to bring it to the shelter and to share this food with all our members of the academic community that needed that. Of course, we have our elderly colleagues who could not go themselves to the shops and buy something, and I think that at that time our team was really strong, and we didn't realize that that was dangerous. Our main target was to become united and to help everyone. And during some period, it was more than a month that I stayed in occupation when I had to escape Kherson. That was the worst episode of my life because that was something I cannot forget. I can't forget that Russian troops that were asking lots of questions when I had to ask my parents to leave the city with my son, and I had to stay in the city. I was afraid to be in one car with them because I was told that when elderly people and children are in the car, they are let freely to escape the city, and when they see young people, they can ask different questions, and that can be the decision of the Russians where to let you go. And that was the most difficult challenge, I think. But when we escaped Kherson, when we had the experience of surviving in times of occupation, and when we came to the new location, to Ivano-Frankivsk, we had to start the life from the very beginning. And we had to create a new strategy. And I think that here our team made a lot to, again, it was one more challenge. We had to build everything from the beginning. And when we came to the new building, when we had to start everything from the beginning, we had a chance to do that, and we have managed that. And again, I will say that I'm really proud of the members of our university and of our leader, of the rector, who has done everything to make us survive, to continue our educational process, and to stay together with our colleagues, to have this, inside strength or inside power that is really inside of us, and that made us feel really strong. And what am I feeling right now personally? On the one hand, I feel that Ukrainians are rebellious, and all the university academics are really dedicated because they teach, they continue their researches, they continue to gain different grants, they continue all the activities. On the other hand, I feel emotional exhaustion because it's already the third year of war, and you need some extra emotional efforts to overcome all of that. But at the same time, I'm full of hope that it will end one day, and I hope that it will be soon, and we will come back to our native city, and once again we'll just remember this very moment, that how rebellious we were, and that we managed to overcome and to meet our victory.
Які найбільші труднощі у вашому повсякденному житті як науковця ви відчули через війну?
When we came to another city, Ivano-Frankivsk, it is almost 1,000 kilometers away from Kherson. We came to the dormitories. We had one room to stay all together with my husband and my son. And at that moment, I felt that I have nothing with me, just 2 luggages, and that's it. I didn't have my books, I just had my laptop, I didn't have all those things that I used to have when I was a lecturer, professor at Kherson. And for some period of time I missed all these things. I missed each my book, each my notebook. I missed my personal room in my flat where I have lots of books, fiction and scientific. And I felt that that was really essential for my work. How can I continue my activities if I don't have all the things with me? But very soon I understood that to continue your life, your academic research, teaching, and in general your ordinary life, you don't need so much. You don't need all those books because you can have them in your laptop. You don't need even all those smart dresses, your shoes, because you can be dressed differently and it doesn't make you a different person. You can live in absolutely different conditions without having comfortable apartment, without having lots of facilities, and it is also possible. The main is that when you have that belief inside of you and when you have your family by your side. And that was the main that I realized, that you don't need so much to continue your activities, to continue teaching. And at the same time, I believe that the fact that we were very much concentrated on our work, on our lectures and on our research, it made us a little bit forget about the war that was going outside, because if you're thinking about the war all the time, you're crying, you're absolutely frustrated and depressed, and it enables you to do anything. But when you're concentrated on something that you really love, and as for me, I love teaching, I love my job, and it's really true. I've been working at the university for almost 20 years, and it is really a part of my life, or half of my life I've been doing that. And I think that that's what really makes each scientist, each scholar, each academic stay alive, work, and be really dedicated to the job that we are doing.
Що ви особисто відчуваєте у зв'язку з цією новою для вас ситуацією? Як змінилися ваші особисті відчуття до і після початку війни?
I think that after the war has started, what I really feel is that I have started to appreciate each moment of my life. You know, when previously I was looking through my photos and I focused on the memories of my trips to different countries, to some new experience, but now I much more focus on the photos when my child was little, the photos of my marriage, and the photos of very happy moments that we had in Kherson at the seaside with my parents and with my colleagues from the university. I think that the war has changed our realization of the life, and it made us appreciate really each moment. I have never had the feeling before, and I'm sure that never has had, that you do not know what is going to be in future. We used to plan everything. Now I do not plan. I can't do that. But I still feel happy, not regarding that the war is outside, that it's around us. I feel happy and I thank God that I'm alive and members of my family, most of them are alive. And I think that now we realize that the life has split for before and after. And it is really so. And we can't say that before we had happiness and now we have only sorrow and tears. Of course, now we cry much more, we are emotionally exhausted. And that's difficult. I can't say that it's not true, it is difficult. But at the same time, we are much stronger and we realize our national identity. I think that is a very important issue. We realize it much more than ever. And now, even when we are dressed in our national clothes, like I am dressed now, it's not just the emblem of Ukraine, it's just your feeling that you have inside. You want to demonstrate in any way that you are Ukrainian, that you are proud to be Ukrainian, and that the feeling of your national identity, the love to your country, that is something that also makes you feel happy and proud. And I'm sure that I just want to say that every time when people speak about war, there is a gap, because they speak mostly about the events that have already happened, about past. But now we have an absolutely unique situation. I'm talking about war, and the war is going on around. And there is no time gap between the events and between this moment. This moment is already inside the war. It is already the part of war. But I do hope that once it will be the episode just from the history, because the war will be over and we will be victorious.
Що університети повинні робити краще для підтримки своїх студентів, науковців під час війни?
You know that this war demonstrated that academics are really united. I would never think that if any military events happen in Ukraine, that academics would be so much strong. I think that universities, institutions, schools, colleges, and all their academics and teachers and administrators, they have made a really great job. Of course, they they did not compete. They managed to support each other, and that is the main. And even now we don't compete who has more students, who has better results. That is not the main. The main is that we are ready to give a helping hand to each other. And when we came to Ivano-Frankivsk, now we are staying at the premises of our partner, Vasil Stefanik Prekarpatsia National University. They have provided a lot of things for us, and they never thought that they are going to compete with us. They have become real friends for us, and I don't remember any situation when we needed their help and they didn't provide that help for us. And I know that lots of institutions have done the same. When we needed food, other universities, they gathered money, they gathered different food supplies and different things that we need, and they brought that to us. When we needed computers, our partners from international university, they gave us this laptop so that we could continue our education. And I think that academics, they also fight, but not in the field of weapons. We have no weapon, of course, but we fight in a different field. It is academic field. And I think that we can protect our future because we can protect our students. We can provide them with knowledge, we can teach them, educate, and I believe that we are really a good example for them. When they see that we are strong, I think that they feel the same.